What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Atlantic Files, the number one podcast on the number one division in the NBA, brought to you by the Underdog Sports Podcast Network. As always, joined by your host, myself, Alex Fishbein, Dennis Clausen with me, Mike coming on in a little bit. What's going on, Dennis?
What it is.
What it is. How you been? How things going? How's your fantasy football teams going?
All 20 of them. We're like, a couple are looking really good, a couple aren't looking so good.
How many fantasy football leagues are you in?
Probably 20.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's because it's like everybody asks, like somebody will ask me, and then I always say every year that I'm going to cut down, and I never do.
I got you.
It just adds on because everybody's always like, hey, would you be interested in doing, and I can't. I just feel bad saying no, and then I feel bad backing out of a league I've been in for a long time.
Right.
So, yeah, it just keeps growing. I enjoy it, though. I have fun with it.
I was about to say, how do you cheer for a team? Like, do you still cheer for certain players? Because if you have that many teams, you pretty much have every fantasy player.
Well, I had that issue, though, like with Lamar Jackson. I had him on a couple teams, and then he was going against me on a couple teams. But really what it came down to is I had him on the teams that I care about winning. Same with Josh Allen. And the teams that I don't have him on, I don't really care if I win or not.
Okay. That makes sense.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm the opposite. I'm only in 3 leagues. Only one of those leagues is going well. The other 2, I'm 0-2.
It's been a tough year because really when you think about it, like outside like Josh Allen, Cooper Kupp, Stephon Diggs had a good game last day, but if you look at like DeAndre Swift has actually been really good, but when you look at guys who were supposed to be good, Dalvin Cook, Derrick Henry, Christian McCaffrey, Alvin Kamara, like those guys have not done a thing, and that's kind of concerning. Week 1, Justin Jefferson, you have your Vikings purple on, I see, but Justin Jefferson went crazy week 1. Devontae Adams went nuts. Devontae Adams had one less target than the rest of the Las Vegas Raiders receiving core combined in week 1. That's how dominant this guy was. So, but he didn't do anything in week 2. Justin Jefferson didn't do anything in week 2 for the most part. I mean, compared to what people would expect at him. Jamar Chase certainly didn't do anything. So it's kind of like it's a weird situation.
Yep. No, I completely agree. Tyler says they'll come around. I hope so because
Hi, Tyler.
Derrick Henry, Dalvin Cook, Ezekiel Elliott, I have all of them on my dynasty team. So I really hope they come around.
But it's pretty fucking stupid when Clyde Edwards-Helaire is like better than right now, like Alvin Kamara.
Oh yeah, no,
and Dalvin
agree.
Cook.
And that's my one team that's 2-0 is because I have Justin Jefferson. Actually, no, that's not the one. I have Stephon Diggs, Nick. Who's my quarterback? Oh, my quarterback is only Trevor Lawrence. And I think like my tight end is Albert O from Denver. So like that's the team that's doing well. That's true. He did absolutely nothing.
I did absolutely nothing, and it's surprising the fact he did nothing. Not only did he do nothing, he did nothing when Jerry Jeudy was out about 3/4 of the game with a shoulder issue. So I don't know. My whole thing is I hate waking up on Sunday morning, eating about fucking 3 breakfast sandwiches and a cup of coffee and watching all these people on, all these networks and stuff talk about this guy's got to play well. This guy's going to, you don't know who's going to play well. Nobody knows that except for Vegas. Exactly. Vegas is the only one who knows who's going to play well.
That's true. I mean, and even then sometimes I feel like Vegas isn't completely right because I try and get stuff all the time. Like right now, according to BovadaSportsbook.com.
Did you see I was showing you the segue?
I know, that was a great segue.
Okay, go ahead.
The Steelers are a 4.5 point underdog, but like Cleveland, I mean, that loss they had last week was pretty bad.
And you gotta think too. The Browns might not have Jadeveon Clowney because he was seen leaving the stadium in a walking boot on Sunday. So not looking good.
That's true.
And Jacoby Brissett got an ankle injury too. So we'll see.
We'll definitely see about that.
Weren't we here to talk about something else too?
Yes, but Muhammad on here says hi, and can I join? We can definitely have you on at some point, Muhammad. We'll just have to talk about it. Send us a DM or an email, and we'll talk about getting you on the podcast and talking some basketball. Tyler says, "I feel you, Dennis."
Thank you, Tyler. Muhammad, yeah, come on, brother.
Yeah, for sure. Just shoot us a message, and we'll plan it out.
Anybody could come on. We don't care.
Exactly. We talk to anybody. So we did come on here to talk about basketball. That was the main thing.
Right.
We'll get into the Pacific Division preview and stuff when Mike joins, get his thoughts on that kind of stuff. So what I want to bring up first, I think, which would be the funniest, especially me and you talking about it here. Have you heard the Doc Rivers thing?
I haven't. I actually haven't. So
I think it was Sunday.
I was too busy seeing which guys are signing Exhibit 10 contracts.
Exactly. All the people that we probably won't even hear about after that signing.
I'm like, Shabazz Muhammad had a workout with the Lakers. Interesting. And then I fucking think about it. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
So woke up on Sunday. We were watching TV, whatever. And I open up Twitter and I see that Doc Rivers is trending. And I'm like, oh God, what happened now? I'm like, did they fire him? Did he say something crazy? Did something happen? And then I see everyone talking about Doc Rivers and Twitter. And I'm like, here we go. Another Sixers staff member and a Twitter scandal. And then I read that the story is everyone checked his likes tab on Twitter and found a bunch of hardcore pornography tweets that he liked. And I'm not just saying one or two. There's apparently 5, 6, 7 of them. And the funny thing to me was, in between all of those, he also liked a tweet that said, "Happy birthday, Seth Curry." So as he was going down the list of his pornographic tweets, he was like, "Oh wait, but happy birthday to my son-in-law."
I mean, how could he not say happy birthday to his son-in-law?
True. But then the story is, apparently his account was hacked.
Come on, I was just going to...
And the Sixers put out a statement saying that they were working on getting his account back overnight from Saturday into Sunday. They got rid of all those likes and he had access to his account again Sunday morning. Just conveniently, they were working overnight because it was hacked. I mean, come on now. Thank you, Tyler. Doc was definitely not hacked. He was down bad. Exactly.
For one, okay, he's a guy, okay? And there is a very small group of guys on this planet that aren't driven by women. Like, guys, we like chicks. That's how it goes. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I mean, this has nothing to do with preference. I'm just talking about guys like chicks, right? So I find myself several times a day scrolling through Instagram and something catches my eye. Now, with that being said, you got to be a little smarter if you're the head coach of the Philadelphia 76ers. However, on the other hand, he's a guy. All right, he's not doing anything wrong. He watches porn. Every guy watches porn. It's not a big deal. We don't have to freak out about it that Doc Rivers... I would be more, surprised if Doc Rivers said he didn't watch porn. I would rather have him come up and say, you know what? I'm a fucking guy. I did it. I like these, I like these chicks. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Big deal, Doc. We don't got to work overnight to Get a burner account then, Doc, for Christ's sake. The only one he has to worry about is what his wife thinks. As long as she's cool with it, doesn't make a big deal about it, who gives a shit?
Exactly. That really is the only person that matters. And honestly, the only thing that came out of this was like funny memes and things like that. Like, when a player or something gets hurt and everyone posts a picture and it has like breaking news, like in big bold letters. I saw somebody put a picture of Doc and instead of breaking news, all it said was horny. And that was hilarious.
I mean, he's a dude, and I commend him for having that type of drive at his age. You know what I mean? Like, he's still in the game, which gives us hope to all us young dudes. So, well, younger. You're younger than I am, but I'm still, But he gives us hope that things are going to be okay once we hit that age. You know what I mean? Good for him. I wish he didn't walk it back. That's the term people use, is walking it back. I wish it never happened. I wish he would just come out and say, you know what? Never mind. I'm a dude. I did it. I like chicks.
Exactly.
Now, was there a preference on what kind of chicks he was looking at? Is he like into big asses and stuff like that, or what's going on here?
So,
I assume he likes big asses because every guy on the planet these days loves chicks with fat asses.
True. By the time I saw the story, they already wiped off his likes, so I didn't see it. However, I was listening to the Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast, the Sixers podcast, and they said one of them was trans, another one was like a stepmom, another one was like just a wife and husband thing, and I'm like, so he's just running the gambit.
All right. Well, every dude on the planet is in a stepmom's. Like, this is nothing new, okay?
That's like the biggest meme too. Like everyone talks about that.
Right. So, I mean, stepmoms is in. Like, every dudes like stepmoms. I mean, there's nothing wrong with a little stepmom, and then you have that hot stepmom, and then, she's like, oh, your dad's out of town, did you do your homework tonight? Oh, you're stressed. I can't let you. Like, come on. And you want to know something? Some of these transsexuals, you got to be careful too, because some of them you can't even tell they're hotter than like biological women.
It literally, honestly, you can find anything you want on the internet if you look hard enough.
I mean, you don't even need to look hard these days. It's there.
That too. I mean,
shout out to the trans LGBTQ community, by the way. Trans, I get no problem with trans people, gay people, any of this. Not about that. Trans people, keep doing your thing. Your trans ladies are looking lovely, working hard. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Exactly. But overall, I just think the whole story was hilarious. Because when I first saw it trending, I was like, here we go. It's going to be something dumb that the Sixers are again going to be in disarray for something stupid. First it was Colangelo, and then they had the whole Ben Simmons drama, and then it's going to be this drama, and it's going to be everything. But then when I saw that, I was like, oh, that's it? Like, you just like some tweets. Like, maybe next time just turn, like, private browsing on or something.
I mean, who cares? I mean, how about just not like him, okay? He's going to...
Well, that too.
I mean, if you're the head coach of the 76ers, people are going to see what you're doing. So just be careful who you like. That's all.
Exactly.
But keep doing your thing, Doc. Like, it makes me like him more.
It shows he actually has some character.
Yeah. So he likes a trans chick with a fat ass. Who cares? Good for him.
So, moving on.
He likes stepmom. But at his age, though, it's like stepmom might be pushing a little bit, because when you start to get into mature territory. I was
about to say,
you go from stepmom to mature,
At his age, it's like step grandmom at that point.
Yeah, there's grannies out there who are doing their thing.
Yeah,
70 years old.
If it makes you money, it makes you money,
We know Kellen Winslow loves the old women, so.
I completely forgot about that. Oh, Lord.
But he liked them a little too much, though. See, hey, This is your fault for bringing this type of topic up. Did you expect that you were going to get something? You did. What did you expect?
No, that's why I had to bring it up now, because I know Mike would be over there just rolling his eyes, not saying anything. So I know it was great to bring it up now that we were talking about it. Tyler just said, "What has this turned into?" Don't worry about it, Tyler.
Right.
So moving on to a little more PG stuff. The CBA.
I was being PG. I could turn it up if you want to.
Oh, I mean, I don't doubt that one bit. That definitely was a lot more PG than what could have been.
Right. But step-ups, step-ups are in. I don't know how that happened, but for some reason, like if you look every year, there's the best categories, and step-up gained traction.
I don't know what changes in those to make ones get more popular over other ones, like collectively.
See, here's the thing. I think it's not, a lot of things aren't taboo anymore. Growing up, I was, I thought there was something wrong with me for some of the, things I was thinking about doing to women. And then I mean, nothing illegal for those of you, but, there'd be times like you grow up and you're like, wait a second, that's normal? I went around all these years thinking there's something wrong with me. So,
Oh yeah, now everything everything legal's on the table now.
Right.
Yeah.
And if my wife's not in a mood, then it turns into illegal.
Ayo.
You'll know what I'm talking about. All right, moving on.
Soon. Moving on. So the CBA, there have been some rumored additions and adjustments, such as lowering the eligible draft age down to 18 again, so people coming in from high school again. Mental health designations on injury reports, so not just being out for rest, they can put mental health, or I guess types of mental health. I didn't see the exact details about that.
We're gonna say questionable schizophrenia.
I mean, if you're schizophrenic, you're probably pretty questionable from day to day.
Yeah, but can you imagine what kind of circus this is going to turn into? Were you done, by the way?
There was just one last thing. It was just bigger luxury tax penalties. But go ahead.
Okay, well, owners are still going to... The owners that want to win are still going to pay the luxury tax. They don't care.
Exactly.
You think the Warriors are going to stop paying the luxury tax?
I mean, honestly, bigger luxury tax penalties are only going to hurt the smaller market teams.
Because they're not going to want to spend money.
Right.
The big market teams, they don't care. They're going to spend the money.
Exactly. Like, smaller market already doesn't want to pay the luxury tax as it is. So if you're going to make it even bigger, then there's no way they're going to spend that type of money.
Well, and I mean, look at the Bucks, man. Like, the Bucks were as small market as it could get, and that team was junk for years until Giannis came around, and then they finally built something up. But I mean, teams like that, it's going to hurt. Phoenix used to be a garbage small market team. They sucked for years, and now all of a sudden they got their shit together. But I don't know. People are making more money these days, so these small market teams aren't as small market as they used to be. They're a small market team that still makes a lot of money.
True. And I mean, now with, the NBA talking about lowering prices for League Pass and different things and all the streaming services and stuff, a lot of times now you can actually get people watching more that aren't just your local market. So
I am so sick of paying for streaming services.
Oh, I agree.
And I don't even watch them. And I started watching The Crown last night because I was watching this the ceremony there that they had, and I was like, people were talking about The Crown, and I ended up watching it. For one, I could only understand about 20% of what they were saying because they're all fucking British. So anyways, yeah, good. I mean, 18-year-olds, if you're 18 and you can go fight in the war, you should be able to go play in the NBA if you want to. Nobody should. You shouldn't be the morale police and tell somebody they have to go to college. Who are you? Some guys don't want to go to college, nor are they smart enough to go to college, and that's okay. Some guys aren't academically gifted, but they're fantastic basketball players. So there's nothing wrong with that. The
And
mental
let's
health
be
is. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and let's be real, a bunch of those people are just getting like fake test grades or just like people to do their homework for them and shit like that. They're not actually there for school. So they're only going for a year and then leaving. So like what's the big deal of just letting them come straight from high school?
Yeah, they're getting like a 4-year degree in like theater lighting. Like that's their degree, like something stupid. Like it's
In
not even a real
operating
thing.
Microsoft Word.
Yeah, Excel, Excel analyst. Like nobody, you know what I mean? So, but the thing is, like, college has been so corrupt for so long, and college has done so much to take advantage of like young kids,
Oh
especially
yeah.
guys who are, and I'll turn this into kind of like a little, you know, racial woke type of thing. But I mean, there's a lot of guys who that's their only way out. Like,
Right.
their way out of their living situation is to go play in the NBA, and they're damn good enough to do it. And even if they don't land in the NBA, they land in a G League, they're still going to make a relatively decent living. If they go play overseas, they're going to make a good living.
Yep.
So if your only way out if you want to be an adult when you're 18, like I said, you can go get blown up in Iraq, you can go play the lotto, you can go to the strip club in some cases and stuff like that. You should be able to go play in the NBA.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And it's like, it's also just like they always bring up the, like, oh, but look at the guys that flamed out and, became broke and all sorts of things like that. And it was like, a lot of the times it wasn't because of them going to the NBA, it was because of the people they had in their corner. Like, a lot of the stories you read are because, like, oh, so and so's uncle just wanted him to go to the NBA to like take all of his money, or so and so got this like sign this bad deal with like a shady person like in AAU and things like that. Like, going to the NBA as an 18-year-old isn't the thing that like automatically causes you to flame out and be broke and all that kind of stuff. It always, and even when you get into the NBA, it still is who you surround yourself with. Like, that's what the whole, I don't know if you heard the whole Amani Bates thing, getting arrested on gun charges, but he borrowed a car from a friend that left their gun in the car, and then he got pulled over, they found the gun, and now he's arrested. It's the people you surround yourself with. Like, I hate that happened to Amani, because it sucks, because like, it's not like he decided to bring the gun, he didn't even know it was there. So it's that kind of stuff that happens. It's not like you didn't have to increase the age eligibility for it.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Like, that's where I mean, anybody who you are associating with and they're not a good person, you have to realize there's a chance that they might be up to some shady shit.
Oh, yeah.
So
For
I
sure.
think the NBA does a good job, though, in terms of letting people play in the G League. Like, I think they got it figured out from that, because college has been corrupt for years. They don't care about anything but making money. They
Yep.
overcharge people to go to their stupid universities, like putting kids in debt. You think some dude off the street is going to be able to go to Duke without a basketball scholarship? No way in hell. So if
Nope.
he wants to just not do that and waste his time and wants to put in the time to develop in the NBA, good for him. With
Exactly.
that said, if you're 18 years old, though, the NBA needs to surround these young. They need to hire people to like make sure they're not blowing their money. They need to make sure that they're not going out and getting in a car when they're drunk. Like, you need a chaperone almost.
Oh, yeah. Kind of like the NFL does when they have the car service and like they have. I know the NBA, when you first come in for like the Players Association, they have like a financial like course you can take with like led by other NBA players. Like, I think Chris Paul helps run that stuff, that you can learn how to like save your money and invest it and stuff like that and don't go broke. So that's all beneficial. Um, Tyler here, do you think Bronny is not going to college now?
Maybe I don't know if he's good enough right now to go right from high school to the NBA.
Yeah, like he's made some strides, but like I don't know. I don't think at this moment I would say he is that good that he can go right to the NBA, get drafted, and automatically like land on a team. So I think he has to wait and see. And then Muhammad here says LeBron didn't go to college. Correct. He's one of the guys that came out of high school, and that's a perfect successful story right there. So I mean, but with every success
But
story,
neither
there's
did
some
Kwame
failures.
Brown.
Exactly. So there's always a failure for every success story. So it goes back and forth.
Yeah, I
But
would be more in favor though of them mandating somebody go to the G League for a year. You know what I mean?
agreed.
Like,
Agreed.
okay, you could play, but you have to spend time in the G League. And not only in the G League are you playing, but the G League is where things should be a little bit more stricter in terms of monitoring. Like, what time are you home? What time are
Yep.
how's your finances? What are you doing? Who are you hanging out with? You know what I mean? Like, 18 years old, though, like, even though you could still do a lot of stuff, there's still a lot of things that you're 18. Like, even though you know stuff, you don't really know anything. So
True.
that's really what they have to work on.
Yeah, I completely agree. And then on top of that, it's just like when you're 18 and all of a sudden you sign a contract for millions of dollars. Like there's so many things in the world that you're like, "Oh, I can buy all this stuff." But someone has to be there to be like, "Hold on a second." Take a little bit and then go, buy whatever you want. But after that, like let's relax here. Let's chill a little bit.
Right.
So, but what do you
So,
think about the mental health designation?
I mean, I think that's just another way for play. I mean, you can't prove, like we talked about with Ben Simmons, you can't prove somebody's has anxiety.
That's true.
So they're going to say, I'm anxious today. I can't play. And that's just going to turn into, guys won't be held accountable for just, I mean, some people, good for them. They need it. And that should all go into, too, like they're, if,
why
if,
did why did
if, we,
it
if,
beat us?
if we don't move, he might not see us.
For those listening, Mike has now joined. Welcome.
Did I miss the memo that I had to get a haircut before the episode?
Oh, I got my hair cut a while ago.
Well, I couldn't tell the difference,
Exactly. I don't have much hair.
I, on the other hand, am coming off a fresh cut.
They couldn't get you rid of the salt in your salt and pepper.
Oh, chicks like it.
There's only one chick you should be worried about.
I said chicks. I meant my mother-in-law likes it. My wife likes it. My daughter likes it. That's all that matters.
What about you? Oh, okay. All right.
What about who?
Nothing. Never mind.
You forgot, didn't you?
I remember.
Russell Westbrook.
Okay. He likes it. I called him. Russ is doing good. So yeah, the injury, the mental health designation, like it's good that people, you want to bring attention to this and stuff, but it's going to get exploited.
Yeah, because then if you want, like, say you want just rest, well, then if people don't want to get annoyed about it, they'll just say, "Oh, mental health." Oh, is that the jacket that he was wearing the other
I
day?
got the same hoodie that Dennis was wearing.
Tell me that's not awesome.
It is.
Is it like Under Armour material?
We could wear our matching hoodies to the Wells Fargo Center.
Probably not. No, it's not like it's very light, very thin material.
Oh, okay. But yeah, like the moment you have people saying like the past couple years, you would literally just see like did not play, rest. And that's one of the things that people hate the most. So now, if you're a player that doesn't like getting backlash, maybe now you put mental health.
I think though if you cite a mental health reason for not playing instead of rest, you're going to get way more backlash.
I mean, true, especially if like you list it and it's obvious that it's a lie. So,
I mean, like I said, there's no obvious lie in this situation. You can't. I mean, look at Ben Simmons. Do we really know if he was having a nervous breakdown? No. But look at all the shit he got for sitting out because of mental health issues.
I mean, that's very true. And I mean, now he got his money paid back and everything now. So I guess at that point, you don't know whether it. I mean, at this point, you still don't know whether it's true or not. So I don't know.
We'll never know.
Nope. Mike, do you have any thoughts on the CBA additions and stuff? It was lowering the eligible draft age to 18 again, the mental health designation, and the bigger luxury tax penalties.
I mean, I'm okay with all of those changes. The 18-year-old versus 19-year-old entry level, it kind of hurts Rutgers, and that's a weird thing to say because I think it's going to start in 2024, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's like 4 kids in the top 10 recruits in the country that are from New Jersey. And not that they were going to go to Rutgers, but there's a chance. You know,
True.
Steve Michael could turn into John Calipari in the next 2 seasons when 3 top 10 recruits and Rutgers would have had like the greatest team they've ever assembled. But
I mean, not wrong technically.
yeah,
The world's more than just Rutgers.
I know.
Speaking of which, according to Bovada, Rutgers is at plus 40,000 to win the national championship.
In football or basketball?
Basketball. Are you
Not
going
a
to take
terrible
that
bet.
bet?
Not a terrible bet.
You are a little bit above Pitt. Pitt is plus 60,000.
With Dior Johnson?
Yep. I think that's the first time in a long time I've even ever seen them on the odds list. So,
I wonder what Muhammad thinks about this.
Who's Muhammad?
he's watching the.
He's a fan.
Stream
He
right
likes
Oh,
it. He
okay.
likes.
I'm sorry, I joined late, so I didn't get the early show references.
I mean, he said here recently, the Washington Wizards, Golden State Warriors, Japan. I'm not sure what that means, Mohammed, so you're going to have to elaborate on that. But yeah.
No, it makes perfect sense when you think about it.
Roy plays for Washington. He's Japanese.
True.
And isn't there another Japanese guy and he's on like the Santa Cruz Warriors? Like something?
Oh, Gui Santos?
I don't think that's Japanese guy.
No,
they don't like have a Hideki.
Are you about to say Hideki Matsui?
Rashimoto dude or something?
The chairman. Lee Jung.
Yi
I thought he was Chinese.
Oh. Yeah, he was.
Oh, Watanabe is Japanese.
Yeah, but he's on the Nets, I thought.
He is now, yeah.
But he was on
the pride of George Washington University.
Yep, there you go.
But no, when you think of Muhammad, he makes complete sense when he just says Washington, Golden State, Japan. So sometimes it's all you need to know.
I don't know what he's talking about, though.
True.
I don't either, but it makes sense.
I don't either. That's the thing. None of us do.
Is he trying to tell us something?
Maybe it's an acronym. No. Anyway, moving on. So we started off with Doc Rivers liking pornographic tweets. Then we went to CBA. Now we're going to talk about the punishment for the Phoenix Suns owner, Robert Sarver. Robert? I know it's Sarver. Whatever. So he's suspended for a year, I believe. We've had now LeBron and a bunch of players from the Players Association, such as Chris Paul, come out and say that he needs to be kicked out of the league. Even PayPal, who is the jersey sponsor for the Suns, said they think that he should be kicked out of the league. And a bunch of other players coming out saying the same thing. Do you think that this punishment was enough, or should he be kicked out of the league?
What exactly did he do?
Yeah, I don't even know what he said, so...
Let me bring that up here. I don't have it on the top of my head.
He
I
didn't
believe
like
it was some racist things.
He didn't
And
like transsexuals on Twitter, did he?
No. Let's see. Allegations of racism and misogyny. This is a really long article, but
What the hell's misogyny again?
Like women, like stuff against women.
Huh.
like he thinks women are below him and stuff.
Blow him?
Below him.
Below. Okay.
Oh, so all right. When the Warriors, after the Warriors beat them and went up 3-0, he started calling Draymond Green the N-word and said it several times. And everyone was telling him you can't say that, especially Watson, who is black and Hispanic, said stop saying that. And then he asked why he can't say that, because Draymond says the N-word. And then there was interviews with more than 70 former and current employees throughout his 17-year tenure that talked about a toxic and hostile workplace under him. He used racially insensitive language repeatedly, and he had conduct that was inappropriate and misogynistic. He passed around a picture of his wife in a bikini to his employees, speaking about
good for him.
how his wife performed oral sex on him. And then even it says some said the longtime owner fostered an environment which employees felt they were his property, even once asking one woman whether he owned her to determine whether she worked for the Suns.
I just want to know what his wife looks like now.
That's pretty bad.
Oh, and Muhammad said the Golden State Warriors will play 2 preseason games in Japan against Washington.
Thank you,
know that. That is cool.
Muhammad.
Thank you. And then he thinks that the 1-year punishment is good enough.
All I'm going to say is Robert Sarver's kid looks like exactly what like a rich, like billionaire son would normally look like.
Does it really? Let's see.
You're looking up his kid. I want to see his wife.
Well, I looked up his wife, and there was a picture of the three of them.
Here we go. I got it. Hold on. Wait, where's the one of his son?
There's a picture of the three of them sitting together.
Oh,
I see one, but it's super blurry.
Oh, his wife could get it.
We're gonna have to kick you off the podcast for a little bit.
She just looks like a
stepmom,
an average rich white woman.
But that's the appeal, because it'd be great if she just bought me stuff.
She probably drives a white SUV.
That's racist. Why is it going to be white?
Because every middle-aged blonde woman drives a white SUV.
That's stereotyping, Michael.
But it's probably true.
I wonder what he said about how she performed. So, what?
Oh my! That
See, this is why we talked about the Doc Rivers thing before Mike came on.
He's so uncomfortable.
Because your wife is sitting in the other room.
There you go. This is the family. Is this the one you're talking about?
Yes.
His son does look exactly like a rich white son would look.
Why does he look so angry?
I know, right?
His dad probably called him a few names.
But Sarver right here is looking like he's ready to call someone the N-word. I mean, he looks like he would. He looks like that kind of guy.
I mean, I hate when people are like, "Well, Draymond says it, so why can't I say it?" Stop it!
Shut up!
You can't say
be quiet,
idiot. Nobody should be.
Get over it. Get over it.
But I mean, nobody should be saying it, right? But it's 10 times worse when it comes from a white guy's mouth. Especially a rich white guy.
Exactly. Know your history. Know the reason why you can't say it. And it's on top of that, it's just I have never had the urge to say it. So why? I just don't understand the need to be well, he says it, why can't I say it? why even say it? Like, if you're really gonna call someone a name, like, I just call them a bitch. Like,
and that's like such a cop out name to call somebody. Like, I'd rather be like, instead of saying the N word, I'd be like, you're a dumb fuck. Like something,
right? Like, get creative.
Just with that actually like describes what it is about that person, besides their, the color of their skin, that describes what an idiot they are.
Right. Exactly. But like, also saying that you own all these people that work for the Suns, and like, I mean, that's gotta be weird. As in, like, I'm imagining myself at work getting passed around a picture of the boss's wife and then hearing how she performs oral sex on him. Like, what? I'd be sitting there like, why do I need to know this?
I'd be like, hey, you got a video of that?
Of course.
Like, I want to see it. You can't just describe it.
Like, can I get in line?
Oh my god.
I mean, good for him. She probably got like fake. Never mind. Double.
I mean, he probably pays for him.
You guys are ridiculous.
Good for.
Just saying.
You know what though? If all that stuff's true, he's a piece of shit. Get rid of him.
Yeah. I mean, if it's been happening for 17 years,
yeah, I mean,
he's not going to change.
Okay, get rid of him. And you know what happens? He rides off into the sunset with $2 billion in his pocket.
Okay, but at least he won't be affiliated with the National Basketball Association, a league that is made up of a lot of black people.
True. I mean, did Danny Ferry ever come back?
I don't know who that is.
He was the GM of the Hawks at the time and called people the N-word on like a call. I think it was Luol Deng. He called the N-word and said a lot of racially charged things about him and like why he did or didn't want him on his team. So they fired him, and I mean, I don't remember him becoming a GM after that for a long time. I don't know if he is now or not, but
are they sure he didn't say he's nagging him? He's a nagger.
I'm pretty sure they knew he didn't say that.
Let's move on.
They could have misheard something. Nah, fuck him. If he says that shit, get rid of him. Who cares?
I agree. Like, you can find another owner for an NBA team. It really isn't that hard. So, fuck him. Get him out of there.
Yeah, get lost. Donald Sterling did the same stupid shit, and he's gone.
Exactly. And now the Clippers have been better than they were before. So, fuck it. So, before we get to the Pacific Division preview, let's talk about some new jerseys. We'll start with I'm just gonna show some jerseys, and you're gonna tell me if you like them, if you don't like them, what you hate about them, what you like about them. So of course we will start off with your team here. The Nets unveil their statement editions. All black. White border, looks pretty nice. I mean, I like them. I think they're going to look pretty good. I'm assuming you guys like them as well.
Yeah, I thought those were dope. I thought those were sick jerseys. Can't wait to see them wear them. Those might be the best ones we've ever come out with. I don't know. I just really like the black on black with the white outlining.
Okay. And aren't they
bringing Joe Harris 4XL statement jersey is what I want to see.
Aren't they bringing back their classic ones too?
Yes.
Oh, your Twitter's up. Let's see what you got.
Why aren't you following Rich Naso?
I don't know. Oh, that's the Atlantic Files account.
No.
Where did it say that?
If you go to home, I don't know. Go to home.
Oh, right here.
No, it says ask him if you want to follow. Go ahead, send him and Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts a follow request.
Okay.
See?
But anyway, They're bringing back the ABA jerseys too, which I thought were very nice.
Like, at least that's like the regular color of the Nets uniform, because I hate when these teams start doing stupid shit and start wearing jerseys that aren't even like the colors of their team. It's like, don't do that.
Oh, you mean somewhat like the Utah Jazz?
I kind of like them. The yellow one is cool. I like that.
I just think these things are so basic. Like, what the fuck? Like, it's literally just all yellow with big block letters. And all black with yellow block letters.
That purple one is the best. The mountains with the...
It's a throwback.
Yeah, the purple one, I agree, is a throwback. That's classic. Love it. But the rest of them, nah. Don't like them.
Well, at least the one has the note on it.
True. I mean, the one with the note is better than the black and the yellow one. But it's also just kind of like, it's again, there's like, it's literally just all white with a yellow little trim. Like, there's not much going on there. Like, at least the mountain one, it has some creativity with it.
Yeah, I think the two in the middle, the more you look at them, like, I really liked them at first, and now the more I look at them, I don't think I like them anymore.
Yeah, like, I'm really not a fan. So moving on to, we have the Cavs. They have 3 new jerseys.
All right, those are all cool.
I like the Cavs.
The one on the left is really cool.
The one on the left. Agree. The one on the left. So I play on the Cavs for my career. So I'm a small forward, so it makes sense. The one on the left, I feel like I feel like I'm playing at Florida State.
Okay. I mean, I can see where you're going with that.
All 3 of them look like I'm playing at Florida State.
The black ones, too?
Yeah.
Florida State has black jerseys?
Well, the Florida State uniform.
I didn't know they did black jerseys. Oh, these ones. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
What are these?
They're like an alternate jersey.
Those are kind of ugly.
But don't the jerseys look like they're playing at Florida State?
Kinda, yeah. I mean, it is a similar, like, it's the maroon with like the kind of goldish and white and black. So, yeah. I mean, it does have a similar feel to it. But I like all 3 of these. They all look good to me. I especially like the white one the most. And isn't that like the old school Cavs logo? Like, wasn't that their logo way back in the day?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, the old school Cavs logo, it was just like a hoop and stuff. It was cool.
Yeah. No,
Her name's like Penny, by the way.
Oh, Robert Sarver's wife? Oh, God.
Dennis.
Anyway, the Magic also unveiled theirs. I like it. I like the throwback to the pinstripes. I mean, I always liked their pinstripe uniforms, so...
They have such cool uniforms, but their team is always so trash.
I know. It'd be nice if they can finally get back to being good for once.
I mean, but I love the Magic. Like, I want the Magic to do well. They just never do. They suck.
I know, I do too. I mean, I now have Banchero in 2 leagues, so I'm going to need Banchero to do well. He's the only guy I got so far in our 20-team auction draft there. So, gonna need them to do well. But I do like these jerseys. I always like the pinstripes are classic. I think they're always gonna be good. And then we have a few more. The other one is, let's see, we got the Hornets. I mean, they don't really look much different from what they've already had. And their court, I mean, the court was kind of boring. I don't know if you guys saw the court.
That's their court?
they have like a new design for the court as well, not just the jersey.
So it's not the honeycomb anymore?
No, the court's super basic. Like, that's it. Like, it's just... I mean, there's a little bit of honeycomb on the out of bounds. Oh, they added some to the paint. So the last one I saw, they did not have honeycomb in the lane. But, like, the Hornet logo in the middle is literally just an outline of a Hornet. I would rather... I don't know. I'd rather it be like the old Hornet logo. I think that would look cooler.
Do Hornets even make honey?
No. At least not that I know of. I thought it was just a lot of bees that make honey.
Yeah, because Hornet's a wasp, right?
Here's a better picture of the jersey.
Dennis is big on the animal kingdom.
Well, that would make as much sense as the Utah Jazz with a note.
Well, jazz music.
Yeah, but Utah's not known for jazz.
Right. It's like the Chicago Bulls. Have you ever seen a bull run around Chicago?
Well, what do you want them to be called? The Utah Mormons?
Yes.
Exactly. Spot on.
The Utah Cougars?
So we also have the Timberwolves jerseys. They're okay.
All right. I like it. Well, I love D'Lo, so, D'Lo's my guy.
They're okay. I mean, I don't hate them, but I don't love them.
I mean, we do have to call attention, though, if people are talking about Sarver, people got to bring up attention about Anthony Edwards' behavior as of late.
That's true too. I think he was just fined $60,000.
So somebody said like with Anthony Edwards, what he said was like damaging. Like, I know what he said was wrong, but did he really was it really damaging?
I mean, it was kind of damaging.
People take things a certain way, I suppose, but I mean, we're gonna ban Sarver from the league, but Anthony Edwards is okay to do what he did, and we're just gonna fine him $50,000 and not anything else.
I mean, true.
Thank you.
And then, so what we'll do is we'll finish up here with the Pacific Division jerseys, and we'll see what those ones look like, because it's a nice little segue right there. So let me bring those up now. So the Suns are bringing back the classics. I really like these. I always thought they were fun. Classic like Charles Barkley, Jason Kidd era. And then they even have the 30th anniversary thing going on. Love it. Those are going to be nice. And then the Lakers is...
No, I don't like this.
It's just... Yeah, I mean... There's a few... I mean, the bringing back these old jerseys I like.
Those are nice.
Those ones are good. But it's like the jerseys that the Lakers and the Celtics like redesign every year is the same fucking jersey, and they're still boring.
Yep.
The
and Wizards also bringing back the Jordan days.
Yes, they are. The Jordan Gilbert Arenas days, they are bringing those back. And then the Warriors are bringing back the Run TMC era jerseys. I always loved these jerseys too. Oh, and then a new statement edition. It looks like it's a navy blue.
They're basically like the Cal Berkeley jerseys. That's what it looks like. A lot of these like jerseys are like looking like like colleges.
Yeah, like it almost looks like a Michigan jersey.
Well, Cal Berkeley.
Well, that too, but yeah. So yeah. Oh, I see. On 1971, they became Golden State. I see. All right, well, yeah, like you said, the Wizards going back to Michael Jordan era there. Bucks are bringing that purple back. The Pistons are bringing back the actual horse and the teal jerseys.
I love how at the time everybody hated that stupid shit. Now everybody is glad to see it back. It's like, remember the old Islanders logo with like the Gordon Fisherman? And everybody hated that, and then all of a sudden they wear it one day and everybody goes nuts.
I everyone just has a soft spot for all the classic jerseys at this point. So, I mean, even like the Heat one, they're bringing back like the Alonzo Mourning era, and it's just a basic white jersey with some red letters and stuff. Like it's nothing crazy. So, yeah.
I think the Cavs are the best.
I would have to agree. I mean, I think for me, it's between them and the Suns bringing back their classic one. Actually, no. I take that back. It's between them and Orlando. I like Orlando's pinstripes a lot.
Yeah, but I feel like they've done pinstripes before.
No, they did. They're just bringing them back.
I know, but I would want to see just something like original. You know what I mean?
I got you. No, it makes sense. So let's get into it. Pacific Division preview. As of right now, according to Bovada, the Pacific Division actually has only one person in the top 10. I don't know, two people in the top 10 for MVP odds, and that is Steph Curry and Devin Booker at plus 1,500 and plus 2,500 respectively. I mean, that's not anything to write home about because those are two guys we kind of expected to be there in the first place. But so we'll get into what Las Vegas thinks about the standings in a little bit because we'll talk about ours first. Mike, what you got for the Pacific Division? What do you think's going to happen here? Is Golden State going to repeat as NBA champions, and are they going to win the division?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that the Warriors do not repeat as NBA champions, but they will win the division.
Okay.
They didn't really lose anyone from last year, and they're bringing some new guys along, Kuminga, Wiseman, Moody, that are really going to take a step, I think, in the right direction next year. So they're going to be a juggernaut next year, but I don't know if they can get past a fully healthy Denver in the West. But I like them for the division. I think they could win. They could come close. They could probably win 65 games. It's going to take 65 to win that division.
Okay.
I think
Dennis?
after that, it's going to be Phoenix, Lakers, Clippers, and Kings. But don't be surprised if the Kings don't finish last. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, don't be surprised if the Kings don't finish last. They probably will, but don't be surprised if they don't.
I mean, yeah. It makes sense. I wouldn't be surprised. Mohammed said bye-bye. See you, Mohammed. Thank you for tuning in.
Bye, Mohammed.
So, that being said, say your order of standings again.
Golden State, Phoenix, Lakers, Clippers, Kings.
Okay. All right. Dennis, what you got?
I mean, I literally think every team in this division is postseason caliber teams.
Dennis has been saying that about the Kings since 2017.
I mean, but when you look at the Kings roster, I think this is the best roster that the Kings have had in a long time. That Sabonis is probably one of the most underrated players in the entire league. De'Aaron Fox is a good player. They still have Harrison Barnes, and Keegan Murray is probably one of the most NBA-ready talents that is coming out of the draft. On top of that, when you throw in the Terrence Davis and Davion Mitchell and Malik Monk and Trey Lyles, like they have a pretty deep team. And if De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis can build something there, I think that the Kings could make the playoffs.
I mean, I definitely could see them sneaking into the playoffs either through the play-in or like maybe. Nah, I'd say through the play-in. I don't see them getting a top 6 seed, so I could see them getting into the playoffs through a play-in.
Well, they finished last season 30-52. They're going to be way better than that.
Okay.
I could see 50 games.
Wow, 50 games. Okay.
45, 50.
Okay.
But, I mean, when you have we got to remember, too, Sabonis came in ahead of the deadline. So now they're going to have a full season with Sabonis. They're going to have a full, De'Aaron Fox is there and Barnes. So they have two of the most underrated good players in the league. But Fox and Sabonis they're two good players. Like they're very good when they want to be. So absolutely, I could see the Kings doing something.
They also brought in Kevin Huerter, who, I mean, say what you want about him, but did play some very important roles, especially in Atlanta's playoff success when they made their playoff run. So Kevin Huerter could be a big addition.
So I could, like I said, I could see I could see them definitely making the postseason. The Warriors, I still think are by far the best team in that division. Last season, when you saw Phoenix, Chris Paul's starting to wear down. Yeah, they brought Ayton back, but they didn't really make like any significant moves to change their roster. I mean, Crowder's getting up there. Cam Johnson's still kind of iffy at times. I mean, he's definitely progressed, but he's not nearly somebody that you can consider that is going to put them like over the hump into like. And Malik Monk is Malik Monk, so yeah, the Suns didn't really make any moves to enhance their chances, and Chris Paul's getting up there. He didn't exactly look the best in the postseason. He's always dinged up. He's always hurt. So it's going to come down to whether DeAndre Ayton can actually like emerge as like the center that everybody wanted him to be. So we'll see if that happens. But I'm still going Golden State. I'm going Phoenix, and then I'm going to go I'm going to still say the Lakers are going to be better than the Clippers. I don't see the Clippers. I don't trust anybody on the Clippers. I don't trust Kawhi staying healthy. I don't trust Paul George staying healthy, and John Wall going to Los Angeles with the Clippers isn't really going to do. So I still see the Kings finishing last. But with that said, I could see every single team making the postseason.
Okay. I mean,
when you look at all the other teams too, though, you look at like OKC, Houston, San Antonio, New Orleans, like they're not making the playoffs.
Utah now.
Utah. So there's some crappy teams there. So at least the Kings are at minimum they're gonna be a playing team.
True. I mean, yeah, I don't think it shouldn't be too hard for them to at least get a 10 seed and get that one playing game at least. So, I mean, I can definitely see it. And actually, as of right now, according to Bovada, Davion Mitchell is up there in the odds for a sixth man of the year at plus 3,300. And then even after that, you have De'Aaron Fox in the MVP odds. He's in like the top 20 range in there at plus 15,000. So, I mean, they're at least, somewhere in the realm of like throwing like a decent little bet on them or something. So, they definitely could make the playoffs. I could see it. But I could also see them crashing and burning at the same time. So
they don't start off the season too favorably, though. They got Portland, who's going to have Damian Lillard back. Then they have the Clippers, and they have the Warriors, the Grizzlies, the Heat, the Hornets, and then the Heat again. So the start of the season is going to be rough for the Kings.
Yeah, it's going to be a little.
They could start off 0-8.
They could, but on the flip side. But then they get a breather against Orlando, but then they're right back at Golden State. They have to go to Golden State twice within their first 10 games.
Yeah, that's crazy. that's not a recipe for success.
After they go to Golden State, they hit the road and they go to Cleveland for one game, and then they got to go back to LA to play a game in LA, and then from there you're hosting Golden State, and then the Brooklyn Nets are coming to town. So that schedule is actually nasty.
Dennis, you trying to fly out to Sacramento for the Nets Kings game?
I would love to see the Kings though. Still,
I wonder what their stadium's like.
All right, let's go to Kings Nets in Brooklyn. When is that?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I think it's April 29th.
Oh, is it? You just know that it's specifically that day. Let's see. March 16th.
Oh, right after the deadline.
Yep. So
Yeah, the King's schedule is so tough.
yeah, the one in Sacramento's in November against the Nets. But so I think that the Warriors are also going to win it again. I mean, I really like the young guys that they have coming in. They even drafted Patrick Baldwin, who I think could contribute if they really needed him to.
Says he's healthy.
Well, yeah. So I really think that they're going to win the division again, and I could see them. Well, did they or Phoenix win the division last season? It was Phoenix, right? Because Phoenix was the higher seed.
No, let's see here.
Or was it Golden State? I forget.
Phoenix won the division.
Okay. So, yeah, I could see Golden State winning the division and then Phoenix coming in second. The only thing I worry about with Phoenix now is, like, is DeAndre Ayton going to take another step?
No.
There's a rumor that they're trying to get rid of Crowder now. So what are they going to get back for him? Now this whole drama with their owner is happening. He's out for the year, and a lot of teams that have this kind of thing surrounding their team throughout the season is always a little bit of a struggle. And then is Chris Paul going to stay healthy the whole season? Is he going to stay healthy in the playoffs?
No.
Exactly. There's a lot of ifs there for Phoenix. And honestly, if I was them at this point of Chris Paul's career, I'd be trying to find a replacement for him rather than Crowder. But that might just be me.
Well, see, the thing is, Crowder isn't, he said something on Twitter or something that would make it seem that he didn't want to be there. And then they were saying that's all Cap. And then who, did I use that right? Cap?
Yes.
Thank you. They said it was Cap. So, but who knows? But there's going to be some growing. I mean, Crowder's old and Chris Paul's is old. So Chris Paul,
Right.
That's it. Like the Suns aren't. I could see the Lakers being better than the Suns this season.
I mean, yeah, it definitely. If it all falls that way into injuries and craziness, then yeah. I mean, and then all the Suns need is an injury to like Devin Booker, and that really blows up a lot of their season. So there's a lot of ifs for them. I mean, don't get me wrong. If there's an injury to any best player of any team, that's going to hurt their odds. But I mean, with them, it's really dangerous.
Yeah,
So,
but Booker tweaked his hamstring in the postseason, and then look what happened.
True.
So
True. That's a very good point too.
Yeah, I'm full of them.
I mean, I also am worried about the Clippers' health. However,
You
if
should
they're
be.
healthy,
Half their roster is about 70 years old.
they're either 70 years old or they've been in and out
12.
with injuries for their entire career. But if they are healthy, I could see them making a very deep playoff run, and I could see them coming in second in the division. And I could see them being easily one of the best teams in the league. I mean, Kawhi, Paul George, John Wall, Reggie Jackson played very well when they weren't there. Zubac, even the role players they have there. I mean, Norm Powell, he was another guy that wasn't exactly healthy all the time, but if he comes back, that's a 6th Man of the Year candidate right there. Terrence Mann, they have a lot of pieces that can give them very good depth, and they
Robert
can be a very
Covington.
good team. Robert Covington, another one.
So actually,
Brandon
I might change mine, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I think the Clippers are going to be better than the Suns, and I could
Okay.
see. I think that the Suns are going to take a drop down. So I could see the Warriors, the Clippers, the Lakers, then Phoenix, and then Sacramento.
Okay. So I was going to say Warriors, Clippers, Phoenix, Lakers, Kings. I still just don't have much faith in the Lakers even with whatever moves they made because is Anthony Davis finally going to be healthy for more than 40 to 50 games and actually play in the playoffs? I have no clue. I mean, we saw what happens when he plays with himself in 2K.
Pause.
So true. So like, there's no way I can tell. But right now, according to Bovada, the Pacific has 2 teams in the top 3 in the odds of championship winners, and they're tied for first. The Golden State Warriors and the Clippers are plus 600, along with the Boston Celtics. And then Phoenix is at plus 1200. The Lakers are plus 1800. And then the Kings are all the way down like 5th worst odds at plus 70,000. But that's 4 of their teams that are all up there for championship odds. And I mean, it's not a bad bet on any one of them. It's just, it does get risky in terms of health.
You know, Doc Rivers was playing with himself on Twitter the other day.
Pause.
I mean, allegedly.
Right, yeah. Allegedly. No, but when you look at the Suns depth chart, though, like if Chris Paul goes down with an injury, Campaign will come in. He's okay. But then, I mean, you got Landry Shamet and Torrey Craig and Dario Saric. And, that is hideous. That is not a deep team at all. The Lakers are by far a deeper team than the Suns are.
Yeah, with aging veterans.
Yeah, but the Lakers still added some younger pieces too. Troy Brown, Lonnie Walker. So, I mean, Patrick Beverly's older, but he's still young. I mean,
He's 34.
Russell 34 is not old.
I mean, it's for a role player. That's not
For his role.
It's old.
I mean, for what they're expecting out of him, it's not old. I mean, so, I mean, LeBron is LeBron. LeBron is a Superman. He's not like any normal human being on the planet. The guy is like built to destroy. Anthony Davis, if Anthony Davis stays healthy, the Lakers could be one of the best teams in the league. So it's really going to all come down to whether Anthony Davis stays healthy. I've heard all this crap that people are saying about Russ coming off the bench. Russ ain't coming off the bench. No way in hell.
There's no way. It wouldn't. I don't think that would be more beneficial than him starting. So why even do it?
I mean, when Darvin Ham came in, he made it a point to like kind of mend fences with Russell Westbrook. You're not really going to get that much out of him if you put him on the bench because he's not going to be happy about it. He wants to say, you know, Russ will say like, I'm a team guy, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, that's the shit that when they started benching Russ last season, that's a lot of the stuff that started making the Lakers a little wonky. So,
right. And
he ain't coming off the bench.
The Lakers did just sign Dennis Schroeder. So that's a guy that can come off the bench.
Yeah, so they had, I mean, he was playing good. He wasn't bad in Houston. He wasn't bad in Boston. I mean, he's not the Atlanta Hawks version, but he's good.
He's a good piece off the bench. Like he literally is a good point guard. He can get you some points. He can run a little bit. Yeah, like he's good for his role. And I mean, he did really well at that role on the Lakers just before that. So,
and then remember too is Kendrick Nunn going to be healthy? Is he going to be able to play? And then I'm interested to see how.
Mike had to go. He had to take care of something, he said. So,
okay.
We'll see him later.
So, you know, then it's going to be interesting to see how that situation in the middle between Thomas Bryant and Damian Jones. Like Thomas Bryant, before he had that Achilles injury, was a double-double kind of player. He was like a surging center who was good. And Damian Jones had some really good outings in Sacramento last season when Rashawn Holmes was injured. And so that's going to be – I think those guys are going to be better than people realize.
True. I mean, I agree. And the main thing, the only reason that I'm down more on the Lakers than most people are is just because of age and health. That's really all it is. I mean, just like with the Clippers, I'm just basing that on the fact that I'm thinking they're going to be healthy. Is that a cat? Is there a cat fight happening? A legit cat fight?
I think it's going down. Do you hear that?
That was so loud from that cat. What the hell?
That cat is pissed.
Yeah, it is. But
maybe he's a Lakers fan.
True. Maybe he's really pissed off that I put the Lakers at 4th in the division.
No, but like I said, LeBron's going to stay healthy. He's going to rest, but he's not an injury guy. Like LeBron is not. I mean, he could play through injuries, and he can play well through injuries. He's not like a. The one thing I credit LeBron is that LeBron he's very tough. He takes care of his body really well, and he's very strong, and he's very durable. Like there hasn't been a lot of players as durable as him. So I commend him for that. Anthony Davis is just going to have to, if he can't stay healthy this season, the Lakers are going to have to move him.
Oh, for sure. Because, I mean, you're just going to sit there and just hope and pray that he stays healthy. Like, there's not much else you can do with that. You're going to have to try and get rid of him. And yeah, I agree about LeBron. I mean, other than the last few seasons, which, hey, he's 35, 36, 37, in the last few seasons, he's playing upwards of 68 games every single season for what he's been in the league now.
20 years?
20 years? Yeah, 19, 20 years. That's a testament to how much he's trained and kept his body in shape and been at this level. I mean, coming into his 20th season or 19th season, whatever it is, according to Bovada, LeBron has plus 1,800 odds to win the MVP. I don't think there's anybody else that has been in that number of season and been top 9 MVP odds like he is.
And you want to know something? He could win the MVP.
Exactly. It's not far-fetched.
Not at all.
So, that's the insane part about LeBron.
I mean, look at what he does just by himself.
True.
How good, even at his age. I mean, he's still. I mean, the Lakers weren't good last season, but LeBron still keeps the team competitive. It's not like when you see the Lakers when LeBron's on the floor, you're like, oh, it's a night off. That's an easy win.
Right.
You still got to play LeBron James.
Right. He keeps them relevant. That's the main thing.
Right.
And that's the only, at this point in his career, I just don't think he can take a team by himself to the finals anymore.
No, but that's why you have Anthony Davis.
Right. And that's the biggest if of the whole team.
And that's why it's so important he stays healthy. And let's not forget about Russell Westbrook, because I'm never counting that guy out. He's one of the best players of all time. And he still is a good player.
I could see Russell Westbrook having one of the biggest bounce back seasons of anybody.
I there's not a guy in the league I'm rooting for more than him.
I know. Westbrook's a great guy. So I really hope he does bounce back and shut a lot of people up. But that's it for our Pacific Division preview. All of us had Golden State winning the division. But then we just had a lot of differences in the 2 through 4 range, and then the Kings in last.
Yeah, I could see the Suns just going on a huge slide.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. The team, like you said, the depth isn't great, and it all depends on how well Chris Paul keeps up, how well Devin Booker keeps playing, if DeAndre Ayton gets better, if Mikal Bridges gets better. Well, I mean, he can stay the same or get better, and he still is a very good player in his role. But it depends on their big three, what they're going to do. So
Yeah, we'll see.
Yep. So I was going to say we could talk about Donovan Mitchell's press conference, but actually we could save that when we do the Central Division preview, because obviously we're going to talk a lot of Cleveland in that episode.
At least he got a press conference, unlike the guy who went to the Knicks.
That went to the Knicks?
Brunson.
Oh, Brunson? He didn't even get an interview?
No, they were talking about him not getting a press conference.
I didn't even realize that. Why the hell wouldn't... I mean, he's the biggest signing in so long. Why wouldn't they have a press conference? Oh, God.
They had to allegedly tamper to get him, and they don't even have a press conference for him.
Of course. So, that brings us to our final segment. What you got?
No, what you got?
So, the only thing I got is another Would You Rather. We did this before with Tracy McGrady. And since we are talking
Was this
about...
like F, Marry, Kill?
No, just like we did with Tracy McGrady, I give you two people, and you give me which player you would rather have, and we're talking their whole career. Not just them in their prime, their whole career. But... it's going to be...
No, because I would say F, Marry, Kill, Penny Sanders, Jeannie Buss.
And Russell Westbrook.
No, we got who's another chick? I don't know. Doris Burke. Okay. F, Marry, Kill. Doris Burke, Jeannie Buss, Penny Sanders. Go.
God.
Your thoughts. Go.
Let's go Doris Burke, Jeannie Buss, and then Penny.
So you'd F Doris Burke.
Yeah. Marry Jeannie Buss because she's got a lot of money. And then I don't really care about Penny.
We won't say kill. We'll say forget her.
Yeah.
Ghost her. Ghost her. F, marry, ghost. Because when you say kill, we don't want to turn her into a ghost.
Exactly. What's yours?
I think I'm going Penny. Penny, I'm effing.
Okay.
Jeannie Buss, man. Even at her age, holy shit, she's... Ugh. You follow her on Instagram?
No, I don't.
She's fantastic looking.
Okay.
Like, and the fact that she's that age and looks that good. Yeah. And I might even be a Lakers fan after that.
There you go.
But I like Doris Burke, though. I don't want to ghost her. You know what? I'd like to spend... I agree. I want to spend an intimate night with Doris Burke.
Pick her brain about basketball?
Yeah, even if nothing happens, at least like we can just have nice conversation. A couple glasses of wine. She can see what Big Sexy's all about. I mean, we could take things from there.
I would literally just be cool with having dinner with Doris Burke and just talking basketball.
I mean, if things happen, I'd be okay with that.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm ghosting Penny. She seems like a... Remember she sent the letters to the employees now that we're talking about it?
She sent letters to the employees?
She sent letters after this whole thing came out. She sent letters to like some employees about how the accusations and stuff. So she seems like a see you next Tuesday.
I agree. I mean, I just don't care about her because like she's just... In terms of the basketball world, she's not relevant.
She does have that stepmom thing going on. But Doris is cute, though, and she wears the glasses. Sometimes she puts the lip gloss on. She does it for me. But Jeannie, bruh, yeah, all day.
Jeannie just has tons of money. That's the main thing I was thinking about. She just has tons. She owns the Lakers. Like, she has tons of money.
Yeah, but she looks good, though.
I mean, especially for her age, yeah. But
I think she's like 60.
the money, though, she might even be older than that. She is. Oh no, she's exactly 60. You're right.
I mean, not that I've looked her up or anything. I'm just saying.
Sure. But no, my would you rather. So it was just like the Tracy McGrady one. I'm giving you one player, and then I'm going to give you another one, and you tell me which one of those you would take, you think is better, or you would take for your team for their whole career, not just their prime, their whole career. And every player I'm going to say is going up against Steph Curry. So you tell me, would you rather have Steph Curry or the next player that I name? And you can give me a why if you want, or you can just say I'm picking this person. So
I love how you're talking like actual basketball stuff, and all I came up with is who would you rather have intercourse with?
I mean, I try to keep it basketball, so.
All right, go ahead.
So, would you rather Steph Curry or Klay Thompson?
Steph.
Okay. Steph
I mean, that
Curry.
one doesn't even need to, you don't even need to like elaborate on that one.
Yeah, that's true. I have a couple easy ones in there just to see where you're.
Just so
where
you're
your head's at.
the fluff ones. You're just there to warm me up.
Exactly. Steph Curry or Penny Hardaway?
Still taking Steph.
Okay. Steph Curry or Jason Kidd?
Taking Steph.
Steph Curry or Kevin Durant?
Taking Steph. All day on that one. There's not one time where I would take Steph Curry or Kevin Durant over Steph Curry.
Okay.
Or Steph Curry over Kevin Durant. Thank you.
Steph Curry or LeBron James?
I'm taking.
I think this one is harder than people think.
Well, what context are we talking? Are we talking like what kind of team do we have?
I mean, it's just like who are you taking as the
better
better player for the entire career? Like who would you?
I'm
rather?
going LeBron on that one.
Okay. All right.
I understand that Steph has more championships and is it. Let me clarify this. Can I clarify it?
They have the same amount. They have the same amount.
They do?
Yeah, LeBron has 4.
I thought Steph had 5.
No, that last one was Steph's 4th.
Okay. But still, when I think of Steph, though, I think Steph is a more championship caliber player. I think Steph is more successful, because if you look at how many times Steph has been in the postseason, I think the Warriors have only lost once in the finals, within the last.
Yes.
But when you look at how many times LeBron has lost in the finals, which has been quite a bit, but
True.
It's impressive that he actually takes his team to the finals. Some of his teams are god awful, but when could on an individual level, LeBron is a better player, has more MVPs. It's just is going to be the top scoring, better all around player. Didn't miss as much time as Steph does. But when you come to a guy that you can build a championship around, I think Steph is a guy you should consider. So I don't even know how to answer this fucking question.
So I got 3 more, and they're older players. So Steph Curry or Magic Johnson?
I thought you were going to say Mark Eaton or something. Just giving you.
No, I already gave you the fluff questions.
I'm going to go with it's
tough. It's definitely tough.
I think I might go with Steph still. But I'm not totally convinced it's the right answer.
Okay. Steph Curry or damn, who did I have on my head? It was Steve Nash.
I'm going with Steph.
Okay. And then the last one I had was Steph Curry or Kobe Bryant.
You son of a bitch.
I know that was because everything in me, especially because Kobe was one of the guys that like I grew up watching. Like I have to put Kobe, but everything in me is like it's not by that much. I would pick Kobe.
Like my heart wants to say Kobe, but my brain is telling me Steph. But you want to know something? I'm gonna take Kobe because
Okay.
that guy is a championship caliber player too. Like he's capable.
Oh hell yeah.
And he's another guy. Just his mentality, his work ethic, his durability, he was like an assassin.
Yep. And he only lost one finals too. He was 5-1 in finals, I believe.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take Kobe, but it's like you said, it's not by that much, and
Right.
I'm still taking like you can officially put Steph Curry on the same level as Kobe Bryant. You can actually put Steph Curry on the same level nearly as LeBron James if you want to. You can make that argument easily.
True. I mean,
Like
he has to be in that tier at this point.
Steph Curry is a guy that you're going to look back and you're going to say, I watched him. That's a special guy right there.
I mean, greatest shooter of all time
By far.
And that's not even scratching the surface of how good his game is. Like he can do a lot more than just shoot, but he's still the greatest shooter of all time.
And there's never going to be a guy who just moves around without the ball better than Steph Curry.
Exactly.
I mean, the way he moves around without the ball to get those shots, like he's not standing there. He's constantly moving. And the amount he's moving to get like when you watch it, and it's not like he's doing circles. He's zigzagging through people. He's doing like everything. Like he's amazing.
Going off like 5 screens. He does it all.
He puts the effort in. So I mean, he's not. I might think about this in an hour and say, you know what, I changed my mind. I'm taking Steph over Kobe because I think they're on the same level at this point.
Right. No, I would agree. I would put him up there too. And last rapid fire one, Steph Curry or Giannis?
I have taken Steph Curry because
I would too.
But Giannis is a great player.
He is.
He's a very good player. He's a very, very, very good player.
When it's all said and done, he's going to be considered one of the greats. He will.
But Giannis's weaknesses are by far more detrimental to his game than Steph Curry's weaknesses are.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Like Steph Curry has some weak spots, but they're nothing that's going to cost your team like games.
Yeah.
Now that's not saying that Giannis is so bad that he's costing his team's games. However, he's more vulnerable. I feel like.
Mm-hmm. Well, especially early on in his career too.
Yeah. So, and maybe in 5 years, if he wins more titles, I might feel differently. But right now, I certainly don't.
Right. And I will just wrap that up with, according to Bovada, Steph Curry is still up there in the top odds for MVP. He's at plus 1,500. So that says a lot for him, too, about how long he's been in the league and how long he's been doing what he's doing. And he's still up in the top. I mean, first unanimous MVP winner as well. So that's another thing to add to his accolade cabinet.
I'm still going with Joel Embiid this year. I was thinking about it today, and I'm going with Embiid.
I think I put like $10 down on Embiid to win MVP, and I think it pays out like 300 something or something like that.
I might do that.
Yeah, so I threw some money on it, but that's it for us. Unless you got anything else.
No, I think this is a new record for us.
It is up to an hour 33 minutes at 34 minutes. We were up there today.
I mean, yes, we spent 15 minutes on MILFs, stepmoms, and transsexuals, but, you know.
But that's
counts.
Thanks to Doc Rivers.
Right. So just let it be known, though, the Atlantic Files, we are allies of the LGBTQ community.
And we don't kink shame.
and we don't kink shame. If do your thing, man. If Doc's in the let's not. If he's into transsexuals, who cares? If he's into stepmoms,
Exactly.
who cares? Like, let's not. He's not doing anything wrong. He's a human being.
You're into what you're into, and that's it.
Right.
Just let it be.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for us. Thank you, everybody, for listening and watching to another episode of The Atlantic Files, the number one podcast on the number one division in the NBA, brought to you by the Underdog Sports Podcast Network. Next week, make sure you tune in because we will be having on Alex Hoops from YouTube. If you search that up, Alex Hoops, he's on YouTube. Great channel, has tons of subscribers over there, does a bunch of NBA analysis and everything. He is coming on the show next week, so make sure you check that out. Subscribe, rate, review, everything. We appreciate you watching. We'll catch you guys next week.